Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk About Sleep. Here's the book. The Amazon link is in the description box down below. As we inch closer to 1,000 subscribers, when we get there, one lucky viewer will get a signed copy of that at random, so gotta be in it to win it, as they say. And as I always say also, these videos are for educational purposes only. So, with that being said, let's talk about today's topic, which is online programs for CBTI. Now, what is CBTI, you might be asking? Well, I made a couple videos on that, which you can find in my Let's Talk About INSOMNIA group, video group. CBTI is cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, and which is a fancy way of saying just behavioral changes that a psychologist or a sleep expert would have a patient do to improve their insomnia, to improve their sleep. There's two main techniques, and again, you can hear more about this in my videos on the subject, but there's two main techniques. One is called sleep restriction, and the other is called stimulus control therapy. Okay, so sleep restriction, just kind of quick and dirty, it's if somebody with insomnia is spending a lot of extra time in bed, what sleep restriction will do is kind of just what it sounds like. It'll cut down the time that they spend in bed, okay, over the course of, weeks to months, with the idea of having them spend less time purportedly trying to sleep and spend more time actually sleeping, as far as time spent asleep versus time spent in bed. Okay, so without me rambling, let me tell you what that means. So let's say somebody gets into bed at 8 p.m. and they just lie there for hours. They don't fall asleep till maybe 1 a.m. And then they wake up every hour, and then they're out of bed at 8 a.m. So this example, is in bed for 12 hours, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. What sleep restriction would do is have them delay their bedtime till maybe like 1 a.m., okay, and have them wake up no matter what at 7 a.m. Okay, so you're cutting a lot of time off the front end and a little bit off the back end in this example. So what happens is they've gone from 12 hours in bed to 6 hours in bed, and they're not allowed to nap. And what happens is over time, when they're kind of running on a little bit less sleep, the sleep that they do get at nighttime becomes more consolidated. So they get easier time falling asleep, and they stay asleep a little bit better. Okay. After a few weeks of that, we open up the window a little bit to maybe 12:45 to 7 a.m. and then 12:30 to 7 a.m. Okay, so until we get them to the 7 hours or whatever it is that they need. Okay, but it's kind of like retraining the brain. What stimulus control therapy is, that's kind of basically saying if you're not either being intimate or asleep, you should not be spending any time in bed. So again, if you get into bed and without looking at a clock, you say, 20 minutes has passed, I shouldn't be just lying here. Get up out of bed, go to another area of your apartment or house, do some meditation, do some reading, whatever, until you feel yourself getting relaxed and sleepy again, and you get back into bed and try again. Okay, so in both of these cases, what you're doing is basically rewiring the brain to understand this bed is my place of sleep, okay, as opposed to my place of hanging out, my place of stress, my place of whatever. Okay, so again, these are just quick examples. Feel free to watch my other videos on them. But there are online programs which people can do, which would basically take the place of a psychologist who would kind of walk you through this step by step. There are online programs which do the same job. Some of them require a doctor's prescription or a provider's prescription. Others do not. Okay, 3 that I can think off the top of my head are Somryst. That's SOMRYST. Sleepio, which is SLEEPIO. And Shut-I, SHUTI. Okay, there are other ones out there, but those are the ones I can think off the top of my head. The idea, though, is the same, which is basically it's this program that a patient can log on to, and it'll kind of walk them through, all right, what time you go to bed, what time you fall asleep, what time you wake up, blah, 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 and then structure their training based on that. Okay, very effective. There's a lot of literature showing that this can be useful, just as useful in some cases as going to see a psychologist, although probably not as beneficial. But you have to be careful with these. Like if somebody has bipolar disorder, right, doing these kind of programs can actually cause somebody to have a manic episode because you're restricting the time of sleep. Okay, you really don't want to go below maybe 5.5, 6 hours. Okay, of total sleep time. But they're out there, and it's, if you have any trouble with insomnia, definitely talk to your provider about it, but it may be worth it looking into one of these programs, okay? Especially if you can't get access to a psychologist or a therapist or somebody who does cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, otherwise known as CBTI, okay? So that's today's video, kind of a short one, but I just want to put it out there because people may not know about this, and this can be a very, very useful tool for somebody who's having insomnia. Okay? So if you have any questions, please comments or questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I will answer any and all questions and comments in a monthly video, 1 or 2 videos I make at the end of the month, kind of addressing all these things. If you like the video, please click like, please subscribe to the channel, and please share this with your friends and family. And until next time, sleep well.